Hey everybody, and welcome along to this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast. Peter Finnan here, and joined by Ronan McNamara.
How are you getting on?
Not too bad now, and yourself?
All good. Bit of a different setting this week.
Bit of a different setting, yeah. We're coming to you live outside broadcast from the media centre here in Royal County Down, so it might be a bit louder than always, or we're keeping our voices down so we don't interrupt other lads doing proper work around us.
Nearly shifting the microphone, I'm that close to
it. No, it's been a busy few days of preview up here. Well, no, it's been a busy few days for me. You just got up here this morning. You were busy with Ireland-Greece last night.
I was in foul here when I got here this morning, wasn't I? I wasn't having it at all. You
actually were. What's the first thing I said? Morning, how are you? Feck this country. That was the first thing you said to me.
I was talking about the weather. I was soaked. One half of my body was soaked. The other half was dry. That's the direction the rain was going in.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. Just the weather has been so changeable, so it's mental. Like, good segue into again our sponsors on the podcast, Flowgas. There's definitely a change in the weather. Visit flowgas.ie. Get yourself set up with the latest plans they have, because my God, it is 100% someone has flicked the switch up here anyway. I don't know what they're like in Northern Ireland for packages, but definitely down south there's plenty of packages they have, keep you warm.
I walked out to the Fort this morning just in time to get in and out before Shane Lowry's press conference, and I got a great video. Sun splitting the stones, absolutely beautiful, and then it's just the squalliest shower I've ever been in, just completely drenched me on the walk back in. Yeah. That's just links golf.
Nah, it's crazy. Like I lucky enough, we'll talk about it in a bit, I played in the Pro-Am as well, and played with Harry Hall, from the flat cap man from the UK, but playing on the PGA Tour. Only won like 7-8 weeks ago on the PGA Tour, but he because he's used to playing in such short sleeved weather on the PGA Tour the whole time, he played yesterday in like 3 layers plus a jacket, plus he'd like a hand warmer thing around his back that he was putting on. He said, I was like, why y'all, like, it's 22 degrees, it stopped raining 20 minutes ago. He said, I'm just practicing with wet gear on me. I've no, like, I hate playing with loads of layers, and I just need to get used to it, so I'm putting myself through pain here, just getting ready for it.
That's one sweaty boy.
Oh, I'm telling you, because he's a big unit as well. Anyway, we'll get into that, but Amgen Irish Open here at Royal County Down. All the press conferences are done. Like, all the Irish boys were the only ones in for pressers. We Tom McKibben yesterday, Shane, Porrick, Rory, and Seamus in today for pressers. Like, let's break them down anyway and start there and talk about it. So I suppose we start off with McIlroy. He didn't give there wasn't too much to be given in his presser. It's very relaxed.
It was, and I think it's probably an environment that he needs to be in, given the way his PGA Tour season's just unravelled. And I think even the questions that he got today are a lot different than what he's used to over in America. It was all sort of about, coming back to this part of the world, Royal County Down, an hour from where he's from, up in Hollywood, and just it was kind of more about, what does it mean to be playing on home soil in front of your home fans, a place where you're going to be loved all week, whether you're playing well or playing poorly. So I think it's a good place for him to be this week, given what's going on in the last couple of months. Yeah,
I think he is. I think he's staying up in Hollywood as well, someone was telling me, so he's commuting in and out, which is a nice draw for him as well with Tom McKibben. He seems excited. He actually genuinely seems excited about that. Like, as Tom, as it was alluded to in the press conference, as a 13-year-old played with him in the Pro-Am in the last time the Irish Open was here, and now he's sharing the fairways with him, actually teeing it up. It's a pretty special moment for the two of them.
Yeah, and out with the defending champion Vincent Norman, might as well give him his one mention that he's going to get all week. I don't think he's done any media duties this week, Vincent, but no, it's a great draw. And even today, like, the crowds out watching him in the Pro-Am were just massive, and it's like Royal County Down can't quite get the numbers through that you'd probably expect just with the lie of the land, but I think it actually makes for an even more special atmosphere. Everyone's sort of just penned in on top of you. Yeah. And even today, like, for the Pro-Am, crowds are spectacular.
No, it really was. The one thing that stuck out in his presser for me was a comment, I don't know who it was, asked him, I think it was Phil, asked him about Tiger and Adam Scott in New York this week, meeting with the PGA Tour. And I've never seen him as in the week after, or a couple of days after, it's been announced that he's playing a match, him and Scotty Scheffler against Bryson and is it Patrick Reed?
Koepka.
Oh, Koepka, Brooks. Yeah, okay.
Why would it be Patrick Reed?
I don't know. Yeah, but they wanted as divisive as possible. So he was kind of asked about the timing of them announcing their match or leaking the match that they're playing at the end of the year compared to all this. Is it done on purpose, like to kind of show the tour, like, well, this is what you should be doing or this is what we could be doing? He gave a good answer on that.
Yeah, not much golf is on in December, so and look, it will be something to watch. And he didn't really say it was to send a message, but it kind of does. Whether he wants it to or not. Like, golf is becoming like tennis. It only matters 4 times a year, unfortunately, at the moment, the way it's going. And this is something that a lot of people are going to watch. And Harrington alluded to as well. Could there be something done that allows PGA Tour and DP Ultra players to go and play on Live for a week, and can we get maybe 3 or 4 Live players to play here on the PGA Tour and even at the Irish Open? I think that's sort of the message that it is sending, that we can have the best players in the world, not all the time, but sometimes outside of the 4 majors.
Yeah, no, it is sad when players have to innovate to try and get eyeballs in the game. Like the PGA Tour's only solution to everything is just add another 0 onto it.
Yeah.
Whereas at least like a McIlroy, when you've McIlroy and Scheffler going together against Bryson and Brooks, like Rory said it himself, like the boys have mopped up in the majors over the last few years, and it just brings eyeballs to it. It's just, I find it a damning indictment on the top table in world golf that it's left to Rory and Scotty and Bryson and Brooks to get together and say, you know what, let's just organise a match ourselves and feck these. Like, we'll try and bring things together and show them what can be done and show them the potential. Like, it should not be the way, but unfortunately it is.
Yeah, like we travel to a lot of golf tournaments, so we do see a lot of live golf, but I can't remember the last golf tournament I watched on television.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the point. Like, the match thing that has come on the last few years, they are very good. Some of them are a little bit gimmicky, but I think this one will be good. And I'm actually quite interested to see how Scotty Scheffler plays and all this. Like, will he actually let himself go? Or does he,
They should have a fake policeman come on and arrest him on the first. Just shackle him up and take him away. And then, we're only messing, You broke a rule there coming in.
Maybe take the Lord's name in vain or something,
Yeah, that's what the lads do.
Maybe you have a couple of pints and wake up with a kebab wrapped around his face.
Meredith kicked the shite out of him. No, I just it was good. No, Rory, like, he seemed very relaxed at that whole Live stuff. Him and Harrington went into a bit of detail on Live stuff, which was unusual. Harrington was kind of joking, saying, "I'm alien to all this. You're asking me all the tough questions here. Like, I'm Champions
Tour." He gives the best answers.
Yeah, Champions Tour. The press conferences are not like this, and it was funny.
Yeah, McIlroy was interesting. He opened up on how much he enjoys playing at home, and then actually how much pressure he feels, because if you look at his record, I think 2012 the Irish Open in Port Stewart was a 10th place finish. Then he had the 2015 Irish Open here, he missed the cut, he shot an 80 in the first round. The 2017 or 2012 Irish Open in Royal Portrush, 2017 Royal Port Stewart, he missed the cut there. He missed the cut famously in Portrush, hooked it out of bounds off the first. Like, his record actually, when he's on the main stage, is more Nicki Minaj than Bruce Springsteen.
Nicki Minaj, Jesus.
Doesn't stay around too long.
No. I'm far be it for me to be betting, but yeah. Do you think he's a good bet to miss the cut this week?
Probably as good a bet as he is to win.
Yeah, I know, yeah, it's mad. It is mad. Like, and moving on from Rory, like, we'll dabble in and out of these, but we touched on Paddy Harrington there. He spent what seems like the whole of last week practicing up in the European Club. He was asked a few questions on it. He thought someone was angling, are you looking to buy the European Club? Because that's been in the headlines recently anyway. But he's coming in like, he spoke very well about the golf course itself, and we'll get into the golf course. He was talking about, it's nice to see a tour stop where you have a really difficult golf course that they're actually trying to make easy, rather than an easy golf course that they're trying to trick up. And there's a lot in that.
There is, because you see a lot of it at major championships, they sort of try to trick the course up. to make, players fall over. Whereas this is it's just devilishly difficult out there. And the wind that we've had today, and then some of the showers that come in. I mean, you wouldn't put your dog out there. Like, playing golf out there today at times, and at times this week, if the weather is like this, will be just horrible. So he spoke about how all the, I don't know who, the DP World Tour, I suppose, just have to put pins in the middle of greens, and you have a fair golf course then. Like, the course from tee to green will take care of itself, and I think that's a sign of a great golf course.
Yeah, no, it's such a tough. I cannot explain to people how hard this golf course is, especially in tournament setup. I come up here, teed up today in the Pro-Am, and could not get over. Like, it has dumped rain in Ireland for the last 2-3 months. We've had no summer. And you go out and you play a golf course like that. I was coming up here expecting it to be green, lush. It is so fiery. Like, so fiery and around. Fairways are hot. Everything runs off into the first cut, and then you're bringing flyers into the equation. You just can't explain how difficult of a golf course it is from an approach play point of view. And Harrington alluded to that on, it's missing fairways or being the wrong side of fairways even on this golf course. You really have to plot your way around that and hit it to the front of greens, and that's it. And like even Shane Lowry said on the golf course,
just hit the front of the green.
But not even that. Just give me level par right now, and I'll stay sitting in here. Like, you can actually, we're sitting here recording, and you can probably hear the hiss of rain hopping off the roof here in the media centre. Like, give me level par, and you probably win this tournament.
Yeah, even Seamus Power said level par, 1 over, 2 over. He'd be happy enough with that. Which
has never happened on a DP World Tour event. It'll be a career. I can't remember the last time an over par won a tournament on the main tour.
Yeah, well, even like there's form for it. Like 2015, the winning score was 2 under, and it was a playoff as well. So I mean, there is form for brutal scoring on this golf course, and I think that's what we're going to get.
No, it's
I think
crazy.
it'll be great.
Oh no, that's the thing. Like, it's what we miss. Like, yeah, we all say about birdies, but like, yeah, it's just such a different test that these guys are facing into this week. It's alien to most of them. And as Harrington said, like, it does, like golf swing, how pretty things are, how well you swing, it does not matter out there. It is all like 100% course management.
Yeah, who's gonna knuckle down and just roll with the punches and get going.
Even just how they play holes or how they attack holes. Like the 13th here is like index 2 or 3 or something. One of the toughest holes in the golf course. It's a long dog leg left to right, blind green, sort of tucked up in a hill that you're aiming to a big pole in the distance around the corner. And hole yesterday the hole that I played with off the tee, like, I've never seen anyone not hit driver or 3-wood. He was hitting 7-wood off the tee, saying that 230 yards is the most he wants. It's the widest part of the fairway. He's leaving himself a blind approach in, but he's saying it's not a birdie hole. Like, I can literally hit this within 60, 70 yards of width, get it 230 yards. I'm left a 6-iron into the green, and I know I just need to hit the front right of anywhere near the front right of the green. It's a par, unless I'm really unlucky. Like, they're just playing it a totally different way. Even the local caddies that were on the bag saying, I've never seen someone from this back tee box like hitting a 7-wood or something like that, or just laying. They're all laying back. Like, it's going to be the strategy around it. It's going to be intriguing to watch on TV. I'm really looking forward. I never really look forward to looking at a Thursday of a golf tournament or a Friday of a golf tournament, but you're going to have the drama tomorrow of like people really struggling in the weather, the wind, the rain. You're going to have the drama on Friday of guys trying to do what they can to make the cut. And then you're going to have the drama at the weekend. Like, it's just going to be full of ups and downs.
Yeah, like, there's potential for birdies and potential for triple bogeys. Like, I mean, people will have seen the pictures on social media of players looking for balls in the dunes and stuff, and it's been like that all day, I'm sure. Like, Larry said he played the 9 holes, and he said he was hacking out a rough for most of them.
He hit out a gallery from 9 holes.
For 9 holes,
he was in the gallery 6 times.
And he was, people asked him what's the hardest hole in the golf course, and he said the 9 holes I played were pretty hard. He couldn't pick one, so that's just the test that they're up against, and it's refreshing because the way golf is going, the distance everybody hits it now, like, there's such a fear that links golf courses are going to be becoming obsolete, and St Andrews probably one of them that comes to mind, but you get weather like this, and you get a course setup like this, you have to be strategic, and it just kind of gives you a bit of hope that links courses are going to be around for a lot longer.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe the setup of the par 3s this week is just off the charts. I've never seen a tournament set up before par 3s the way they are this week, all playing different directions, all like so many different distances. You're going from 210 yards on the 4th down, like the 7th is only playing like 130, 40 yards. And the wind is blowing a gale like right to left. The green is sloping left to right. Like it's just Rory even said it in his press conference today, like you stand up in that tee box and you've got a 140 yard shot and you're scratching your head wondering, how do I hit the green?
It's just great.
It's savage.
Like
It's
Seamus Power spoke about, having to aim over gorses and aim over dunes and just, trust that the wind's going to hit it and bring it back for you.
No, that's brilliant. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Seamus Power. Talk about Seamus Power. You said in his press conference, I only caught the tail end of it, but it's been a tough year for him.
Yeah, he said it's been a bit of a journey and a longer one for him to get back to full fitness, which he isn't even really at the moment, to be honest. He spoke about how the hip injury he got at last year's Scottish Open, which forced him to withdraw during the first round, was initially nothing serious according to the MRI. And he kind of carried on with it then and took a few weeks off, came back in Hawaii at the start of the year, and it was the first time he sort of felt it walking up a hill. He started limping, withdrew again, and then it was just about recovering for 4 or 5 weeks and, taking cortisone injections. And yeah, his routine now in the gym has changed. It's more about recovery and minding himself. He's got his do's and don'ts of how to manage the injury. And yeah, like I said last time we were on the podcast, keeping his tour card this year was a good achievement considering what he's had to go through. And he has to go back now, and he's not playing he didn't play the British Masters, he's not playing the BMW PGA in Wentworth next week because he has to go back and have a skin lesion looked at. He had something removed on his left arm, so go back and see whether that's serious or not as well. So he's going through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, the skin lesion thing sounds serious enough, like to get a chunk cut off your arm and have to pull out for a couple of weeks and do a few bits. Like you just have layer upon layer of setbacks over the last year. So no, he's done really well to get his game into a shape that he feels he can come here and compete by the sounds of it. And you just never know on links golf as well. Like Harrington did this before at the Open, just comes in off the back of an injury or still injured, and you can be very dangerous on links golf when you have no expectation. And coming in here, home crowd, like he'll be well G'd up for it, and he knows he's due a good performance, and his game will stack up to it. So yeah, it would not surprise me in the slightest if Seamus Power put a really good run together this week, just out of nothing, sort of way.
It would surprise me.
That's a terrible thing to say. No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah, no, I'm looking at on the Shane Lowry then. His press conference started off a little bit interesting, obviously, with the whole Kingspan thing kind of blew up yesterday, and first thing he was asked when he came in, now he had a stock answer for it, but I kind of have a bit of sympathy for him with getting stuck in a storm in a teacup over that, like having to be a spokesman for your sponsors. I know you're wearing their logo on their sleeve, but like what they do in their business sense, he shouldn't really be asked questions about, really.
Yeah, look, he spoke about it in his statement, and he said he's not going to comment further on it and express his sympathy to the Grenfell families. I mean, what else do you want him to say? He's not going to publicly out Kingspan, is he? I don't think. I don't think he's in the position to do that, really.
No, it was a tough one, but like he got asked some tough questions around that at the start, and then kind of calmed down a bit and got into the golf. I think it took 4 or 5 questions of like, there was all sorts of questions coming at him. Then Philip Reed was the first one that spoke to him about his
a good year on the PGA Tour, best career season. Exactly. He was delighted. Finally, a bit of positivity in the room, but
took 10 minutes, bit of positivity coming his way. But no, he lit up when you can tell by him, like his eyes light up when he comes to a course like this. And he kind of admitted a few things that you wouldn't expect from him, saying like if the weather conditions were calm this week,
he'd fancy himself.
I'd really fancy myself. Whereas the way it is now, it's kind of a leveler. So like the best ball striker mightn't necessarily win this week, but it's all about course strategy and where you land the ball and where you do. So you can get unlucky and be a great ball striker, but he was kind of alluding to the fact that he wishes the weather was a little bit calmer and he'd fancy himself a little bit more. But He spoke really well. Like, obviously, he's asked every year, you know, to be the first person to win your national championship as an amateur and a professional. It's hard to believe it's so long ago, like 15 years ago since he won it as an amateur. It's crazy when I say that.
Yeah, and probably last year the K Club was his best chance since winning as an amateur to get it over the line. A similar sort of record to McElroy, really. It's outside of the win, it's not great, and it probably just shows how difficult it is to win an Irish Open. I think we put a lot of pressure on our players, probably more than other countries. Like maybe Ram feels it with the Spanish Open, although maybe not the way things are going. But no, Larry, like it's interesting. He has a great year on the PGA Tour. He obviously had his win with Rory, but I still look at it. He's won 6 individual times, and I still think that's an underachievement for someone of his ability. Like he spoke of it there today. He started doubting himself at the start of the year as to whether maybe his best years were behind him at 37, which I think personally is ridiculous. But now he's thinking, maybe my best years are still ahead of me. Maybe I can churn out a few more wins and get into double figures over the next few years. And like, he's achieved so much in the game, wins big, as we all know, and it would almost be like winning a first Irish Open again if he was to win it this year or next year or the next couple of years before he wins maybe another major.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to see that he went up to Port Rush. He spoke about going up to Port Rush on Tuesday rather than doing a bit of practice here. So up to Port Rush, first time he's been back there since 2019.
Yeah, and he forgot to go and see his mural. They were 10 miles up the road, and he was like, boys, we forgot to go and take a picture. So that's probably on the agenda now before next year's Open.
Actually, he might get a helicopter or fly up before he leaves again. It's gas. Anyone I haven't seen, have you been up that far yet?
No, I haven't. God, it took me long enough to get up here.
No, I haven't seen it at all. But any of the other Irish boys, then you had a chat to Sean Keeling there this morning.
Yeah, Sean doesn't give too much away, in fairness to him, but he played with Harrington on Monday and in a group with Max Kennedy and Conor Purcell, so that was a nice little 4-ball on the fairways here. And yeah, he just spoke of how impressed he was with how Harrington, you know, carries himself and just the way he deals with things and goes about his business. And he spoke about how Harrington gave him a couple of nuggets of advice, you know, just to remain patient, remain resilient. There's going to be ups and downs in your early career, and you just have to keep plugging through it. And then Harrington himself said today how impressed he was with Sean and that maturity that he has for 18. Said, you know, he hasn't outgrown the game. Over there in America, there's plenty of time for improvement and, you know, development there, and he's on the right path to where he wants to be. And he spoke then of Max Kennedy, how impressed he was with him, young kid, kind of come of age really at the amateur level this year. And then of course Conor Purcell, who is on course for a DP World Tour card, hopefully, after winning on the Challenge Tour this year. And he just said how he's the real deal, which I kind of, you know, it kind of plucked my ears, to be honest, saying that someone on the Challenge Tour is the real deal. So hopefully he gave Conor some advice, and Conor can get over the line this year and join us on the DP World Tour next year.
Yeah, it'd be great if one of them featured anyway, because it's the type of golf course that the amateurs actually can mix it in, and they'd be quite confident. They play in these conditions a hell of a lot.
Yeah, this is prime West of Ireland conditions.
Absolutely, like this is prime stuff. Like, but it would be unbelievable if we could get, like, you know, we've seen it before at the Open Championship, like with Paul Dunn back in the day. You know, that's back a long time ago now, but like mixing it as an amateur.
Well, look, links golf, strange things can happen. Like you said, it's a leveler, and that's exactly what it is. Like, with the way conditions are now, absolutely anybody has a chance to win this.
Yeah, no, it's anyone by Vincent Norman, according to you, defending champion.
The only bit I've seen of him this week is his picture on the wall in the media centre here.
I actually forgot that he won it. If someone was to ask me coming in this week who won the Irish Open last year, I would have struggled to tell them Vincent Norman.
Yeah, and the 4 winners before him play on live.
Moronk, Herbert, Catlin. You know, I seen John Catlin actually on the green up there, yeah, doing a bit of practice. It was like marking his golf ball with like €50, €500 notes, you know, telling everyone the world is brutally is wrong.
We need to write a column on this. The Irish Open is a great feeder tournament for live players. Produces a lot of them.
That's it. Ram, Catlin, Herbert, Moronk. Did Vincent Norman play live before?
No, but it's probably only a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly. They're all getting binned off, some of them this one. But But yeah, it's going back. I didn't get a chance to talk to him earlier on the day, but Soren Kjeldsen, like, as a past winner in this golf course, it's
someone like
liable to
him,
throw up someone like that
Yeah.
that will plot their way around, knows how to get from A to B, course management off the charts, and it's a thinker's golf course. Thinkers, not tinkers.
TH.
TH, not TIN.
Of the thinkers, then, who would you cast your eye on?
One guy that I seen coming into it, it depends, and he's been up thereabouts in a couple of Irish Opens before, got his win in recently, Aaron Roy.
Aaron Roy, yeah, it does actually,
Plots
to be
his
fair.
way around.
And he's got a good tee time as well with Seamus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plots his way around.
Two gloves. The rain won't bother him.
Won't bother that man there now. He's 22 degrees or -2 degrees. That man's well insulated no matter what.
And look, he should have won it when it was in Gallagorm as well.
That's it. Like, he just dumped it into the rough on the left and didn't get up and down, and lost that one to the live rat, John Catlin. But yeah, it's the live substitute. Yeah, he's
live substitute. Yeah,
he just pops up anywhere. Mad for lads to be taking a bit of night nurse and get dumped out of tournaments. And I'm your man. I'll jump in there.
He's the golfer's version of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
But yeah, no, someone like Aaron Roy would pop into my mind that I like the look of. I did like I would tend to agree with Harrington on the Irish guys. I do think Conor Purcell will put on a good showing this week.
Yeah, well, it's great to have 11 players, so like it would just mean so much to everyone if we could get one or two in there going into the weekend as well, just for the crowds and the atmosphere that would be generated with somebody in the final 2 or 3 groups would just be electric, given how tight everything is around here as well. So it's funny, Conor, he's kind of gone off the boil on the Challenge Tour since he won, and maybe this is a real welcome distraction from, you're not trying to, you've everything to gain by playing this week, whereas on the Challenge Tour you now have everything to lose.
100%.
And it also helps that you're playing for 6 million and not 300 grand as well, so
yeah, that won't come into the equation.
No, I know, but you know what I mean.
Anyone else? Right, who catches your eye? I've given you a name, Aaron Roy. Give me someone. Coin. Give me someone.
I like a bit Eric Van Ryan.
Oh, go on. That's just because you're wearing fucking joggers.
Gotta stick together.
Go team jogger.
Nikolai Højgaard's 55-1.
Yeah.
Which is a bit mad. I know the conditions probably won't suit him, but like Ryder Cupper 12 months ago,
The 2 Højgaards are playing, aren't they?
2 of them are playing, yeah. So.
And the 2 Oliveras are playing as well.
Is there 2 Oliveras?
Yeah, Nacho and
Tristan Lawrence.
Well, he's a one that like I couldn't believe he's top of the PGA Tour rankings for getting them cards, the 10 cards. And when you strip out the guys that have cards already, like
God, the Yanks would hate if he was going over there now, wouldn't they? Oh,
right. Have you checked out the list of lads? Like it's
not great for reading.
It's grim.
It is grim.
But
but like
the lads looking at, but like Tom McKibben, he doesn't like links.
No, he said
on
himself.
record of saying he doesn't like links.
He hits the ball too high.
But it's going to be an interesting few weeks for him because he kind of needs to close like the gap that's there. He's I think he's 12th on the list. Top 10 get their PGA Tour cards now. He's like 2,000 points behind, which is peanuts. Like $20,000 or whatever in prize money.
Yeah,
behind Guido Migliozzi and who else is there?
I'll go through their names are atrocious.
Go on.
Tristan Lawrence, Jesper Svensson, whoever he is, Sebastian Soderberg, the man who completely choked away the Scandinavian mix. Like you shouldn't be on. You didn't deserve anything for that. You have Nicholas Norgard, Rikuya Hishino. You've got Rasmus Højgaard, which would be his big name. Roman Langosk, Migliozzi, your man Matteo Manacero, and Frederic Lacroix. Now you have to be a staunch DP World Tour veteran, like real loyal, watching every weekend to know who half of those boys are.
Yeah. No, it is. It's but no, Tom has a bit of work to do, but I think next week more so than this week. He'll be looking at Wentworth, the type of place that would suit his eye a lot more than here. But you'd hope that he can string a good week together here and just get a bit of momentum going into next week.
Yeah, it's funny how much of the lads coming back, and Seamus Parr said it as well, they're so unfamiliar with links golf now. They have to come back and nearly retrain themselves. Like you hear, like you're going to hear this weekend on Sky Sports, any Irish player that comes up on your screen, oh yeah, could go around here, Irish player, great links record. They don't play links golf. No one plays links golf anymore. Yeah. Like it's a once or twice a year thing on tour. It's like, it's just not a thing.
Yeah. No, it's sad. It is sad because, like, you know, that's what makes this so intriguing this week. You don't get to see it every week. You don't get, like, that's what turns me on about the Open Championship so much. Like, when it's bad weather, the Open Championship is just such a great leveler, and you have to think your way around. Like, you just have to, like, it's so different. And like, even Harrington said it earlier on about, it was actually McIlroy talking about course architecture and how different he looks at the game architecture wise, and how good this golf course is, that it gives you so many options. Like he said himself, standing on that 7th, 140 yards, didn't know what club to hit, but like hitting into most of these par 4s, like it gives you high, it gives you low, it gives you running something in along the ground. It like, even in around the greens, you can put it, you can hit your little 9-iron bunty one, you can throw it up in the air, it just presents you with shots that you just don't get presented 99% of the time on tour. And it's whoever can adapt back to, you know, a bit of ground hurling.
Bit of ground hurling.
That's what it's all about.
Bit of Meads, Christy Ring. That's what you need.
Ring. No, but it is, yeah. Mick Canan. No, a bit of ground hurling, that's what it's all about. But yeah, that's what makes it so intriguing with this golf course, and with links golf in general. But this is a brute. Like, this is tougher than any Open Championship venue that you'll see, and this is what makes it even more intriguing for me, is just the degree of difficulty. I do think someone is going to get lucky with the draw. Like, it's
completely draw dependent, I think.
Yeah, we've been dumped on all day here. Well, the last 2 days, like, in spurts, but it's coming up to 6 o'clock at night, and the wind is up a little, but it does calm down. So, like, really, really late in the evening tomorrow, someone might kick in. I don't know who that's going to suit.
Sean Keeling, 20 past 2.
But that's the thing, like, you know, you could have a back nine of flat cam, and no better man to go out and turn a bit of hay.
Yeah, flat cam and Shawnee, all right. Like you got McIlroy and I think Tom McKibben around first thing in the morning on Thursday as well. Yeah. So was Seamus Power. So you know, you might be out early enough to get it nice and calm at that area as well, and do enough damage before, you know, some of the wind and the rain comes in as well. So
how lucky is that, a draw? McIlroy, McKibben to come out, you know, pulling hot balls, cold balls. It's like the FA Cup third round draw.
Like, honestly, it's like Liverpool playing Premier League teams in every single cup draw that they get, but we won't go into that.
Stop, don't be giving out. We haven't played at home in the FA Cup.
Man United's great run to all these cup finals, they never play an away game. Huh?
I don't know, like, is there anything else you want to touch on in this?
No, just the draw in general is actually quite interesting. It's something you only kind of think about around Open Championship time, but if you want to win an Irish Open, what time you're playing at is going to be pretty important, because there's half the field that could be just wiped out just by pure bad luck.
I spoke about this yesterday. So you get a chance in the pro to play with two different pros, and yeah, spoke about it to one of the guys I was playing with first, Simon Forstrom from Sweden. Played the front line with him, and he basically, I asked him, have you played links golf before? He's like, oh yeah, I have, yeah. I played the Scottish Open there a few months back. I was like, Renaissance Club is not links, mate. that is, it couldn't be further from the truth. So no, he really got into it going around, and he'd worked out after 9 holes like that, literally laying back front of every green, and he knew straight away 40% of the field are out of this mentality wise. And he's having a tough season, and he said himself, this season I've really earmarked this week and next week, I've earmarked that I have to have good weeks. And he was trying to work out a strategy around the golf course, how to get it from A to B, laying back front of greens, don't take anything on, and approach it that way, and just trying to convince himself that the bad weather they're going to get this week, that half the field don't want to be there, and you're already ahead of the field, and it's a good mentality to be going in with.
Yeah, it's an attitude thing. I mean, like we've been battered by some of the showers here, and you can just know, like 40 or 50 guys are just gonna be like, feck this. I'll bring it back next week. It'll be all right. Like that's what links golf is. It's pure. Like this was going to take the win this week. Pure attitude, pure thickness.
Battle of attrition.
Honestly, that's exactly what it is. Like there's going to be no pretty swings out there for the next 4 days.
It's like the Grand National. That's what this is going to be like.
The
last 2 furlongs of the Grand National, when they jump that last fence and it narrows in, and it's like horses going sideways coming in. That's what it's going to be like.
Just a bit of meat thickness. That's what they need. That's what Harry Hall needs.
Harry Hall. It was interesting stuff listening because he won that Ice Go Championship about 8 weeks ago, and I was talking to him. I said, like,
how has he not had a good season then?
No, that was the other guy. Didn't have a good season.
Oh,
Harry Hall has had a really good season. I was talking to him about different things, like did you go mental after you won? What did you get? Like, you got $750,000 for winning, right? That took his career earnings this year up to $1.3 million. Really good year, right? Yeah. And I said, and what are your expenses on that? And when he started going through his expenses, $400,000 to date he has spent. And he lives over there. He lives in the States. He's not commuting back and forward. So he's like...
Cost of living crisis on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like he said, like, you have to. Now, the only reason he's over here playing in this is because he won. He has the choice to do that because it gave him dual sanction, co-sanctions, both sides of the water to full playing rights. So he said, I'll come and play the British Masters, play the Irish Open, play Wentworth, because he has that luxury. But like the tournament in Napa this week has a bigger prize fund than here, even though, and I agree with him, Harrington saying this is the biggest. I don't know, is he getting a bit of a dig at golf as well? But this is the biggest event in global golf this week, the Irish Open, whereas Liv have their final on this week as well. I don't know, was he getting a little dig in at that?
Yeah, I don't know, but he spoke about the date as well, saying this is the best date that the Irish Open could have, and I don't know, like it is a good field, it's a good European field, but I'm a little bit disappointed that the likes of Tommy Fleetwood aren't over. Maybe some of the guys coming over to Wentworth next week haven't stopped over here as well. Like it could have been, it's a good field, but it could have been better. And the Irish Open deserves better. It's a real legacy event of European golf, of world golf. You think of the winners, like we're looking at the winners list here as well. Seve's on it, Langer's on it, Woosnam's on it, Ollie's on it, Faldo's on it, Torrance, Montgomery, all the boys, all the lads.
Sergio,
never mind him. Like they're all on it as well, and it's just an event that, like Amgen of 6 million is a great prize fund, $6 million. Like it's great, one of the biggest on the DP World Tour this year. But to have it being smaller than like a Mickey Mouse PJ Tour event that nobody's going to watch is a little bit of a kick in the teeth as well at the same time.
It's hard to juggle this both sides of the Atlantic, and they've tried everything with the Irish Open date-wise. They've tried Link Swing, they've tried it in May, they've tried it in July, September now. I think it fits here. I think it does fit here. They just need to build it. Like having it the week before Wentworth, I think again is a good fit. But yeah, like there should be certain, I don't know, they're making the entry criteria for Ryder Cup tighter, as in going off a list. But there should be more emphasis put on having to play some of the legacy national championships, because here deserves a better field.
It still is good. Like you got the Hogarth twins, you got McIntyre, you got all the Irish, you got Van Ryan, Thomas Dietrich, Ryan Fox, who's a bit of a link specialist and loves Ireland. You've Torbjörn Olesen, real good players. You've Jimmy Walker for some reason, which is a bit of an interesting one, really. 10 years ago that would have been great, and like it's unfortunate that.
But how are lads like that getting an invite to this? Like I look back, even
because
this
we're
year,
sound.
Because we're sound. Jason Duffner got an invite to a DP World Tour event this year.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him
Czech
since
Republic. I think it was it? Yeah,
I haven't seen him
Brant Snedeker.
Yeah, since he done that Duns thing at the back of a class one day. Remember when he nearly fell asleep when he won the PGA at the back of a school class? But
well, you look at the field for next week, and it's a shame Billy Horschel had to withdraw, but he's obviously not injured enough to miss Wentworth. But anyway, like you got Byung Hung An, Siwoo Kim, Will Zalatoris coming over, like big names. So Tommy Fleetwood, like Matt Fitzpatrick are playing there as well. Victor Perez. It'd be nice if those guys would have come over and played. That stuff that kind of just beefs up the field. You're only talking 3 or 4 players.
And a lot of it is the tours making, I feel, because they're making, like what I was saying there a minute ago about the Ryder Cup qualification. These guys all want Ryder Cup. But now you only have to play 4 events to qualify. It does. Does it have to be your national championship you have to play?
I think so, yeah.
It does. But the Olympics counts as 1, so it's really only 3, which it should be 5.
Should be 6.
6, yeah, even go heavier and make them come and play. Because then they will pick these events and they will strap back-to-back Irish Open, Wentworth, or they'll do 2 others at other times, knowing that, I need to do the majors plus 2 trips across. So
like the 4 events, including your National Open, like you'll play your National Open and you'll play Wentworth, and then you'll play 2 at the end of the year and 2 at the start of the year in the Middle East. And there you go.
Yeah, wham bam.
Wham bam.
Qualification.
That's
Lowry's eyes lit up when they start talking about Ryder Cup again.
Yeah.
You can tell how much it actually means to him, and he spoke a lot.
There's a touch of the Ian Poulters about him, the way he talks about it.
Yeah, not in a really good way.
Oh, yeah,
really
obviously, when I talk about Ian Poulter Ryder Cup, it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, feck what he's done since, with the live thing. But when it comes to Ryder Cup, it means the world to some of these boys, and Larry's one of them.
It's mad because he did get into a bit of the mentality stuff. I'm looking forward to the tail end of the year catching up with him properly, 1-to-1, because like you go back a year and Shane was, he was questioning everything. He was struggling, not into all the Siggies and not into all the big events, and then does what he does, has a season, and now he just has a total new outlook on the world and how he's going about it and how he's done. So interesting times.
Yeah, like we said it before at the start, like he's had his best year on the PGA Tour, and it's mad to think because we were sort of fearing for him at the start of the year because all his major exemptions were running out, and you're kind of thinking
getting old.
He's getting old. He said at 37, like, for God's sake. But it just shows you. It took 1 week at Bay Hill to sort of flick the switch and turn it round, and the win at the Zurich at McIlroy, he said it was crucial just for that little bit of confidence. And any win is a win, as we all know. And like, he had 2 chances to win majors, didn't quite get over the line. I'm sure he'll have a chance to win on the DP World Tour before the year is out, and that's his big goal now for next year, is winning. He wants to win more events.
Starting this.
Well, it's funny just how mentally it just changes.
Yeah, no.
You're kind of looking over your shoulder. You fell out of the top 50, and you're kind of thinking, all right, where do I go from here? And now he's safe for another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I guaranteed. That's all good. Right, I think that's a wrap from the media centre here. It's getting quite noisy. They're coming in. The cleaners are coming in, putting bags into bins. The Hoovers will start soon enough.
We'll be singing the national anthem now in a minute.
Which one? We go full Lee Carsley on it. We won't sing it. But that's it. Thanks again to Flowgas for the podcast sponsorship. Visit flowgas.ie to have a look at all the packages they have. And cheers for tuning in. We'll be back again on Monday next week. We'll have Wentworth to look forward to. We'll have a Solheim Cup to dissect through. Best of luck to the women going for 4 in a row across there. Looking forward to that as well. It's going to be a great weekend of viewing. Irish Open, Solheim Cup has the makings of a great one.
Also has the makings of a terrible weekend.
Leeds Burnley as well. Lunchtime on Saturday. This is going to be good.
Bowes UCD in the Cup quarter-final.
Is it?
Cup semi-final. Jesus.
On the Bowes.
On the Bowes.
Shell's going to win the league soon. It'll be wrapped up. Right. Cheers for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right. Bye.